Top 10 hardest languages in the world. Why is Korean so infamous? There are over 7,000 languages spoken around the world. But only a handful have a reputation so brutal that learners consistently describe them as impossible. Languages that break pronunciation rules. Languages that force you to relearn how writing works. Languages where grammar feels less like logic and more like survival. And among all of them, one language keeps appearing near the top of every difficulty ranking. Korean. According to the United States Foreign Service Institute, Korean is classified in the highest difficulty category. The same category as Chinese, Arabic, and Japanese. Languages that require over 2,000 classroom hours for English speakers to reach proficiency. Today we're ranking the top 10 hardest languages in the world. From a global perspective, but through an American lens. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why Korean isn't just difficult, it's infamous. How language difficulty is measured. When Americans say a language is hard, they usually mean one thing. It doesn't work like English. But language difficulty is more complex than that. Linguists typically look at 5 major factors: pronunciation and sound systems, writing systems, grammar structure, vocabulary distance from English, and cultural dependence. The more of these barriers a language has, the harder it becomes for native English speakers. And every language on this list hits at least 3 of those barriers hard. Number 10. Finnish. Finnish is not related to English, German, or French. It belongs to an entirely different language family. For Americans, this means almost zero familiar vocabulary. And the grammar is extreme. Nouns change form depending on function. Not with prepositions, but with endings. Up to 15 different cases. Words can become entire sentences. And sentence structure feels alien, even after years of study. Number 9. Hungarian. Hungarian pushes this even further. With over 18 noun cases. To an English speaker, it feels like information compression at an absurd level. Everything that English spreads across multiple words, Hungarian packs into one. Understanding where meaning begins and ends becomes a challenge by itself. Number 8. Icelandic. Icelandic is often described as modern people speaking an ancient language. It preserves grammatical systems that English abandoned centuries ago. Complex declensions, verb conjugations, and vocabulary that feels frozen in time. For Americans, learning Icelandic often feels like studying medieval texts, just to order coffee. Number 7. Vietnamese. Vietnamese grammar is relatively simple, but pronunciation is merciless. The language relies heavily on tones. Change the pitch slightly, and you change the meaning entirely. To American ears, multiple words sound identical, but to native speakers, they are completely different. Perfect grammar means nothing if your tone is wrong. Number 6. Russian. Russian adds a new alphabet into the mix. The Cyrillic script, but that's just the beginning. Nouns change based on case and gender. Verbs change depending on aspect. And word order is flexible in ways that confuse English speakers. You don't just translate sentences, you interpret them. Number 5. Arabic. Arabic is often mistaken as a single language. In reality, it's a collection of related languages. Modern Standard Arabic, and dozens of regional dialects that can be mutually unintelligible. The writing system runs right to left. Vowels are often omitted. Letters change shape depending on position. And pronunciation includes sounds that don't exist in English at all. Number 4. Japanese. Japanese overwhelms Americans with systems. 3 writing systems, hiragana, katakana, and thousands of kanji characters. But the real challenge is social language. Formality levels, honorifics, indirect expression. Japanese often avoids saying things directly. Meaning lives in context, and what is not said matters as much as what is said. Number 3. Chinese. Mandarin Chinese combines tone mastery with massive character memorization. Daily literacy requires thousands of characters, each with unique pronunciation and meaning. Grammar may be simpler than expected, but the memory load is enormous. One mistake in tone, and the sentence collapses. Number 2. Korean. This is where Americans are often surprised. Korean uses an alphabet, and a brilliantly designed one. Hangul is logical, scientific, and efficient. So what makes Korean so hard? Everything that comes after the alphabet. Particles replace word order. Verb endings change based on tense, emotion, politeness, and social hierarchy. Honorifics aren't optional, they are mandatory. In English, you say, I ate. In Korean, you must decide who you're talking to, how old they are, their social status, your relationship, and the emotional tone. Then you choose the sentence. Eat, ate, ate politely, ate respectfully, ate casually, ate rudely. And that's before we talk about omission. Korean constantly drops subjects and objects. Because context is assumed, Americans learning Korean often ask, why is this sentence correct? And Koreans answer, because it feels right. Korean isn't just a language. It's a social operating system. Number 1. Basque. Basque stands alone. It's not related to any major language family. Its origins are unknown. Grammar, structure, vocabulary. Everything is isolated. There are no shortcuts. No reference points. For linguists, it's fascinating. For learners, it's brutal. Final thoughts. Why Korean is infamous. Korean isn't infamous because it's illogical. It's infamous because it's human. It demands awareness, sensitivity, and social intelligence. For Americans, learning Korean means learning how relationships work, not just how sentences work. And that's why learners who reach fluency don't just speak Korean, they think differently. Korean doesn't just teach you how to communicate, it teaches you how to read people. And that is why it's one of the hardest languages in the world.